Welcome back to this episode of Tiny Kitchens NYC. Hey John.
Hey.
Today we're in my kitchen and we're going to be making sheet pan gnocchi. New York City, where you pay a fortune for 4 walls and a kitchen the size of a closet. The fridge fights the stove for space and the windowsill doubles as a cutting board. But none of that stops us from cooking. I'm Peter and this is Tiny Kitchens NYC. My buddy John and I have lived in this city for years. And if there's one thing we love as much as New York, it's food. Each episode, we squeeze into a real New Yorker's kitchen to find out how people pull off incredible meals in impossibly small spaces. In this city, the square footage is a joke, but the food never is. Welcome to Tiny Kitchens NYC. Welcome to my kitchen. This is a 6 foot by 6 foot wide kitchenette by New York City standards. I'm going to take you through a couple things that make my kitchen work for me, so come along. One of my most important tools for working in the kitchen is my chef's knife. This is a Victorinox Fibrox 8-inch chef's knife. It does everything that I need it to do. It's comfortable to hold so my hand doesn't get tired over times of chopping vegetables or cutting up proteins, etc. So that lives in my nice Wusthof knife block. The other item that I love is the Victorinox paring knife. This was $7 on Amazon, so it's not expensive. Again, very comfortable to hold, very lightweight, so my hand doesn't get fatigued while I'm slicing vegetables or peeling with it even. Since my kitchen is so small, everything has to have a particular place that it lives. So I'm just gonna generally run through things really quickly. Here we've got dishes and cups. This is extraneous sort of vinegars and oils that I might not use on a regular basis, as well as like some treats for my kids. Nutella. Up here I've got some more pantry staples. So that could be extra salt, pasta, extraneous oils, and panko breadcrumbs, etc. Here's my general everyday use of oils. There's olive oil, grapeseed oil, some salt for sprinkling on food afterward, pepper, vinegars, etc. My convection oven, and the rice cooker is the most important appliance that I own to feed my kids and my wife quickly, easily, and they're always happy with rice. Coffee grinder, which is just a staple. I can't live without coffee. I need it every morning. So this is my baby. This is my family's baby. My most used pots and pans up here, a couple different size pots. The pans that I use most often, as well as this new brand that I've discovered, Mizzen. This is a carbon steel pan, and I love it. I can't get enough of it. You can use metal on it. You can heat it to like 1200 degrees, which I don't know how I would do that. It's lightweight, and I can get a great sear on this for proteins and cook anything in this, even acidic foods like tomato as well. So can't live without this pan. These are appliances and pans that I don't use so often, but I've got a food processor. I've got a KitchenAid mixer. There's a waffle iron down here for Saturday morning waffles for the kids. Makes it easy. It's kind of an indulgent item and it takes up a fair amount of real estate, but if it makes the kids happy, I'm willing to do it. And then lastly, just a bin for root vegetables and garlic, and as well as bread, so that can kind of live out of the way down here. The second step after cutting our onions, we're gonna assemble everything onto our sheet pan. Now I've got my oven started at 425 degrees, so that's preheated already. Now we're just assembling. It's very simple. Toss everything onto your big sheet pan. Onions that John chopped first. Thanks, John. Spread those out. We've got our garlic here as well. Just kind of make it sort of even. It really doesn't matter how evenly dispersed it is, because in the end it's all going to go on a plate and it's going to come together beautifully. I've made this dish a couple times and it's always worked out. This is a vegetarian version that we have, but you're welcome to add different vegetables. You can add different proteins, some sausages, and kind of make it your own. So now we're just going to do our olive oil. Drizzle that over. We're going to mix this up with our hands after all of that goes in. Try to evenly coat that as best you can. After we do our salt and pepper, we're going to throw this into the oven. We're going to give it about 25 to 30 minutes. A couple times through, we're going to take it out, just toss it again, just to evenly disperse it. Make sure that everything's getting nice and toasty brown. The tomatoes are going to condense all that sweetness, that natural sweetness that's in them is going to concentrate. The gnocchi is going to get browned. And if you've never had gnocchi this way, if you're like a gnocchi naysayer, if you've had bad experiences with gnocchi, this is not like gnocchi that you boil and it's just soft and kind of gooey and weird. This is toasted gnocchi. It's going to be delicious. Let's go ahead and season the pan right now. I've just got some kosher salt. Season up high, not close. This way you get an even disbursement of your salt. We can always add some afterwards if we need to. Ground black pepper. And usually I use a pepper mill to get fresh ground pepper, but this one is so nice and even, so do what you like. No haters. Give that a little shake for funsies. Let's throw it in the oven. All right, 425, 25 to 30 minutes. We're going to shake it up, take it out, shake it up a couple times in between to make sure that everything's getting nice and browned. Let's see how our beautiful gnocchi and tomatoes are doing. So the tomatoes are gonna release a lot of their juices, and that's gonna eventually caramelize after a lot of the moisture has evaporated. You can see at the edge of the pan here that we're accumulating a lot of juices. So the oven is nice and hot, and that's going to aid in driving off a lot of the moisture. Nothing is really browned too much so far because we have too much moisture in there, so that kind of protects us from burning our dish here. Just move things around a little bit, so let's go ahead and throw it back in. Oh yeah, bubbly. You can smell those sweet tomatoes. The garlic is getting nice and golden, as is the onions. Oh yes, that's what we want. You can throw in the basil whole if you'd like, but I tend to rip it up, disperse it like that. You could add the Parmigiano right now. I'm gonna add it once I've plated this. It'll just look really nice on top. But I am gonna do the dressing that John prepared for us.
Smashing up the garlic. That doesn't want to be smashed.
And then salt and pepper to taste. Let's get that dressing. You see we've got some bits of garlic in there as well that are going to add just a nice pungent notes. Some that's mixed in with the olive oil, and the lemon juice. Lemon juice is going to help brighten up the whole dish. You've also got the acid from the tomatoes. So if you don't like lemons, which I don't know who doesn't like lemons, you can just use the juice from the tomatoes, which is concentrated, and that's nice and sweet and acidic. Oh, I'm hungry. Here you go, buddy.
All right. Excited. Tell me why you decided to make this dish today.
You know, I used to make a lot of food that took a very long time, and then I'd have my family and my guests waiting for hours. Our cameraman, Matt, can attest to this. I think one of the first times we ever ate together, it took like hours for me to make food. So I wanted something fast, delicious, and relatively easy, and not too many plates, even though I use a lot of bowls to prep, just to show everybody just what goes into this dish. But it's one pan to cook on anyway. And that makes it really appealing, especially if you don't have many items in your kitchen, like a lot of pans or a lot of pots to work with or whatever. You can make do with a few things. Yeah.
Thank you.
What do you think? Tell me what your first thoughts are.
It's great, very balanced. Got a good balance of salt, acidity, sweetness from the tomatoes, a little herbaceousness from the arugula. Fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's just talk a little bit about your cooking journey, your culinary journey, if you will.
Once I moved to New York City, I've been working at restaurants kind of in every town I've worked or lived in. When I got to New York City, I started working at a nice French restaurant. The food coming out of there was amazing. And I would talk to the cooks there, be like, hey, why does this work? Or I want to make this dish. And they would write down recipes for me. So then I would start experimenting at home. That kick-started the journey. I met you. I knew you loved to cook. And then we started cooking together. And so that's kind of where it started really snowballing. And then I'm in New York City, so I want to go out and explore all the different cuisines that are here that I never grew up with. And then I wanted to make those things at home because it's expensive to go out and eat.
100%.
This is a cheap, economical dish with not fancy ingredients. I don't know, maybe the fanciest ingredient is the cheese from Italy. Otherwise, you have shelf-stable gnocchi here, delicious cherry tomatoes, and we can kind of get things that are out of season almost any time of the year. So you're gonna have basil, you're gonna have arugula, you're gonna have some kind of tomato at your supermarket. So this can be made sort of any time of the year.
But do you like cooking with seasonal ingredients?
It's best. Corn is gonna be the best in the summer, as opposed to getting it in the middle of winter. That being said, you can get frozen ingredients that are pretty delicious because they're flash frozen as soon as they're picked. But seasonal is always better.
Do you feel like food was a big part of your culture growing up? And because I feel like that's such a big part of, at least for myself, like food was so ingrained in Asian culture. But you grew up in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So out of curiosity, like you have a pretty open-minded palate, but was food a big part of, like, how did you get, I guess, exposed to different foods, or was it?
Well, my mom cooked at our house, and a lot of what she was doing was from whatever cooking magazine she would get. So you remember that magazine, Savor, Saveur, S-A-V-E-U-R? I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Saveur.
That's it.
En français.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, so I remember that being around, and then she would have some random cookbooks lying around. So I knew that, like, she at least cared, and she was interested in that stuff. And so I know we ate kind of well, but the things that I remember from my childhood was like eating cereal, or the one dessert that she would make, my mom would make all the time, was shortbread, which is like as simple as it gets for like a baked good. But she would make a lot of salad, a lot of fish and stuff like that. So there was nothing really, I guess the regional cuisine was
cheese
and bratwurst. I mean, that's a lot of like the German influence from Wisconsin.
The top 5 things that you would recommend.
good chef's knife, a good skillet to cook in, something that's oven safe. I would go with like a plastic cutting board. Wood, if you want to like do the upkeep of like oiling it, so forth. Never a glass cutting board, that will dull your knife. Rubber spatula, a lot of things that you said, and then a sheet pan. I mean, I think you can do almost everything that you need to do with those items.
Cooking tip to a burgeoning home chef, what would that be?
Taste your food often. When you're making your food, taste it often. You're gonna season as you go. You can't take that seasoning back. You can't take the salt out. Season as you go, taste as you go.
Yo, thanks for this great meal.
Thanks for coming over and helping.
Of course.
Glad you enjoyed it, buddy.
Guess I should probably go do the dishes now.
You're on dish duty. Thanks. See you later. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Tiny Kitchens NYC. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And if you live in New York City and would like to be featured on Tiny Kitchens NYC, shoot us a message at the email below.
See you later. Make something delicious.
Go.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Tiny Kitchens NYC. Don't forget to like and let's do it again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh my God. Shoot us a note at the email below.
Yeah, shoot us a note. Give us a message at the email below.
Yeah.
And run.
Thanks for joining us at